So we're going to cut it. Well, let's do it with our left hand. Shift our awareness to the right side of our brain and relate to it differently. So have a firm relationship between the right side back of the brain, the left bottom of the brain stem where the cerebellum is, and then the left arm. And as we do that, we gain confidence in our ability to use both hands. Also, the right hand relating to the left side of the brain. Firm, steady, right side of the brain, downward cutting movement. So there we go. And we are cutting it up. And slices here. Thinner it is, easier and faster it cooks. I'm faster with my right hand for this, so I'm just going to continue using my right hand for this. But take every opportunity to use my left. Started using the left. I've got it set up so I've got a mouse on the right hand side of the computer, and I'll use that for moving across the screen. And then the touchpad right here I've set up to be a left-handed mouse. So for small, finer motor movements, I've got the touchpad set up to use my left hand. So that's helping ambidextrousness, speeds up the process. So you can like bring in, type, and then go back to gross movement, finer movement. Just a system. So I'm looking at the proportion here of how much cabbage we have. And when I look at it, I'm knowing that as this steams, it's going to shrink. And I looked at how much of the rice and lentils we had in the pot over there, and we had about double that in the bottom of the pot. So I'm going to go ahead and take another slice out of the cabbage here. Oops. Let's get a firmer downward cut. There we go. I think that's good. Let's see if we can cut this with the left hand. Do try this at home, just with proprioceptive awareness. So left side of the brain relates to right hindbrain cerebellum down to right hand. Right side of the brain relates to left hindbrain and down to left hand. So as we move along, keep our proprioceptive awareness here. There we go. So we've got another layer of cabbage here, and I'm just going to go once through with the right hand, get it all cut up. There we go. Now that looks, when we put it into a circle, that looks about even with, it's going to shrink a little bit, that's about even with you know, as it steams, the steam's going to come in and open up the pores. And then when we put it on the saute, some of the steams, the water that is on the outside is going to evaporate. So these are going to shrink down a little bit. So that's going to be roughly equivalent to our carbohydrates and proteins in our pot over there. And that'll, when that goes into the digestive system, that'll equal out nicely. So you'll have your proteins and carbohydrates, which forms more of a, like a slower moving mass. It has more friction. So as it goes into the digestive system, it's going to move along a little slower as the digestive system contracts. And that's advantageous to the digestive process. So it slows it down, it moves it in those enzymes. And you put this in here, and this helps to keep the fibrous, keep it moving. So it has to move somewhat. So having the fiber in there gives it kind of a lubrication to it. So we're going to go ahead and stick this in the colander steamer, collapsible flour colander steamer. Coolest invention ever. I love things that expand into something bigger, something more useful. Space saving, highly efficient. And so I'm just going to balance this colander flour out with cabbage because see, it's not really balanced right now. So I'm going to spread this around because the center point, the little ring here, is what I use to take it out of the pan. See, if it's off balance, it's hard to get out and it might spill cabbage. So if we balance it, it becomes easier to pick up and take out safely. So we'll fold that up and we'll stick it in our pot over here. Check the water. Ooh, we need some water for sure. So we'll put our cabbage in there and then we'll pour the water through it. Nice toasted smell in there right now. I think the water got a little low. Put that on there, cover it up. Okay. Let's put our cabbage back. And I try to make it as airtight as possible. Cover it up. Twisty tie it. So this prevents oxidation, holds moisture, lasts a really long time in the fridge. And all these bags that we use are all recycled. They all come from the stores. It's just your typical, well, the farmer's market packages like spinach and these, so we wash these out and save them. And you get these kind of bags from the store. And as long as they don't have holes in them, you can take your veggies, put them in there, and really easily like wrap it up and then twisty tie it. Or you don't even need twisty ties. Sometimes you take it around your finger, like that. It's nicer if you curl it like this, so you make it tighter, like that. You hold your finger, stick it like that, grab it right there with your thumb, pull this open, and push this through. And you want this to remain a loop there. Let me make it easier to see. So I've got this loop, and then I hold the knot, and I pull